Well, it's time to check in with the mayor of Niagara Falls, Jim Diodati, to see how things went this past long weekend in the city. Good morning. Good to see you by Skype.
Yeah, good to see you too.
We were just talking about the Spooky Awards, which is a way of encouraging a safe Halloween.
Isn't that cool? So it started by a city councilor, Chris Dabrowski, and now it's going to be sponsored by the city, where we're going to kind of go around the neighborhoods and where we also typically would be looking at your floral arrangements and how you do your landscaping. Now we're going to see who's most creative, special effects, and who creates the spooky effect. So you can drive around in the safety of your car, visit different neighborhoods in the same way you would at Christmas time for Christmas displays, only now you can see the Spooky Awards. And you know, it's funny. When I was a kid growing up, Halloween wasn't that big of a deal. It was kind of about getting candy. But now, my gosh, the parties, the costumes, the decoration, people really get into it. So it's a lot of fun. It's become a fun holiday.
Yeah, and a great way to enjoy it safely as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's a neat thing because the kids can be in the car, get a little spooky, but not too spooked out.
Yeah. How are we doing numbers-wise specific to Niagara Falls? And are you thinking of tightening up any regulations?
So we're following what's happening in the province. Obviously, we're not as bad as areas of the GTA and Peel and Ottawa. And we're keeping an eye on things because we know there's a huge downside to closing businesses. I mean, the financial health and the mental health get hugely affected. So we're looking at that as an absolute last resort. We're trying to make sure everybody follows protocol. And we knew this weekend was going to be a bit of a challenge because it was Thanksgiving and typically families get together. But I can tell you, with our family, we didn't do the big event. We just did our little bubble, and we thought the goal is Christmas. That's when we can get together and do a big deal. We didn't do Easter. We didn't do Thanksgiving. We're all making sacrifices, and I think the goal for a lot of us is hopefully the Christmas season we can get together. But right now, we're doing okay, all things considered. And I have to say, we're not surprised. We knew the numbers would go up. We knew kids are back in school. The patios are closing. It's getting colder. People are more indoors. We knew that. But the key is it flattening? Maybe a little higher level, but is it flattening? And right now we're keeping an eye on it, but we need to be diligent. We need to be vigilant. We need to keep an eye on things and not drop our guard.
Yeah, you mentioned businesses. You're actually doing a survey right now because, of course, patio season was extended. Here we are getting into colder temperatures. What are the plans?
Well, you know, it's funny because the weather was great this weekend. It was so nice outside. And obviously the businesses are going to keep their patios open as long as possible. A lot of them have got heaters. They've got windbreaking systems in place. They're doing everything they can to extend the summer season. It turned out for some businesses, they were facing bankruptcy, and some of them had very good summers. And they're just trying to extend it because they know as we go inside, limited capacity, it's going to be tough to pay the bills. So we're doing everything we can to be flexible, to help small business and encourage people, buy local and support the businesses in your community.
How's the response been to the tourism ad campaigns? This is so critical, of course, to Niagara Falls. The numbers are amazing because your city had approximately 100,000, but what is it, 14 million a year come through Niagara Falls normally?
Huge numbers, 14 million. So this year it wasn't as big as it normally is with the border closed. That would take away a quarter of those numbers. But I got to say, overall, we were still very busy, and our numbers were right in the middle of the pack of the other municipalities in the region. So considering statistically, we could have been so much higher, we weren't. There were a lot of dire predictions, but we did a great job. And I got to say, everybody in the community, all the employees, all the guests, all the workers, everybody did their part to be respectful of the situation, keep your distance, and follow our guidelines from public health. So we did pretty good, Bob.
Yeah. Is there any news regarding the casinos and launching with the 50 limit?
Okay, the $64,000 question.
Yeah.
When I was speaking with the casino people again last week, and you know what? They're now, as you know, the casinos in Toronto, Peel, Ottawa have all been ordered shut down by the Premier for the next month. So our casino in Niagara Falls, they're still in discussions with Ontario Lottery and Gaming in the province, but no decisions have been made. So they're just standing by. The toughest part is, you know, the size of the casino. They've got over 1 million square feet, 200,000 square feet of gaming, 11,000 capacity, and 50 people just doesn't cover the cost of turning the lights on.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we go, John and Allen Park, all the improvements completed?
Oh, yeah, and that's great. So we got an outdoor skating area, we got tennis courts, pickleball, cricket, new play structure, hockey, basketball. And I got a question for you, Bob. Do you know why they call it pickleball?
I'm in a bit of a pickle, Jim. I don't.
Well, that was pretty quick. And the reason is That was good. And the reason is because the family who discovered pickleball had a dog named Pickles. And if
Oh,
the ball went sideways, Pickles would be taken off with the ball, and it became pickleball.
well, there's some useless trivia we're going to carry with us all day.
Longer in a pickle.
That's interesting. Thank you so much for that little tidbit and lots more from you. You're a great city, and it'll be great to check in with you again next week. Niagara
Thanks.
Falls Mayor Jim Diodati, good to see you.
Thank you.